Herb, what will penguins be doing in the 21st century?
Oh, Don, I see great new opportunities, new vistas. Penguins will rule the world.
Ooh, will we be in charge of TV?
Of course.
Good, then turn on Beakman.
Yes, that's just the beginning.
The sperm whale has the biggest brain of any creature on the planet. Its brain weighs 20 pounds. Wow! I'm Beakman, and you've just broken into Beakman's world. Beakman! Prospecting for knowledge. Dig me up a question, Phoebe.
Enriching. Here's a nugget from Jesse Chancellor of Louisville, Kentucky, and Ashley Benner of La Belle, Missouri. They want to know about horses.
Okay, Jesse and Ashley, but you just gotta stop nagging me.
What was that? Sounded like a horse.
Howdy, cowpokes.
Oh, Lester, you look so, I don't know, stupid.
Lester? Well, I don't know any yellow-bellied, sidewinding son of a bachelorette named Lester. The name's Wyatt, ma'am. Wyatt Burr.
Aren't you the law west of the Pecos?
Well, no, but I've eaten some mighty good slaw west of the Pecos. The whole secret's using just a touch of mayo.
Lester, get off your high horse and go get your horse.
Phoebe, Beakmania, say hello to Old Paint Chip.
Let me get this straight, Lester. You're a famous outlaw named Wyatt Burp, and this is your horse?
We mainly rob small banks.
Scientists believe horses, and believe it or not, that's what this is, were first tamed and ridden more than 5,000 years ago. Horses were trained for sport and war, to carry soldiers into battle and pull chariots. Here in North America, horses had disappeared after the Ice Age. They were reintroduced when the Spanish brought them to Mexico in 1519. American Indians began to use the horse around 1600 and rode them in battle and to hunt buffalo. The whole history of America, especially the American West, would be completely different without the horse. Horses pulled covered wagons full of pioneers across the deserts to Red River valleys and carried the cowboys who rounded up cows to feed those settlers. Yes, horses helped make exploration and expansion possible.
Aw, thank you, little buddy. You know, without you, America would be different.
Old Paint Chip here shows us just how different horses can be. Lester, did you know there are over 150 different kinds of horses?
Horses come in all shapes and sizes and are divided into 3 main groups.
Light horses, heavy horses, and ponies. Light horses weigh less than 1,300 pounds and include the horses we use for riding and racing.
One of the most beautiful of all the light horses is the Swift Arabian. From Arabians, we breed thoroughbreds. You know, horses that run in the Kentucky Derby. Thoroughbreds can run very fast for a mile or more.
One type of light horse, the quarter horse, is a favorite of cowboys because it can start and stop very quickly. It can run like the wind.
And let's not forget the light and the lovely Lipizzaner. The Lipizzaners were originally trained for war, but are now among the most famous performers in the world.
Which brings us to heavy horses, of which the biggest are called draft horses. Some of these guys can weigh more than 2,000 pounds. They're bred for strength, to pull heavy freight wagons and plows on farms. Old Paint Chip here is a miniature horse. Miniature horses were bred to be tiny on purpose, so they could pull wagons in cramped places like coal mines.
Hey, Beaky, I have a question. What's the deal with my horse's feet?
A horse's foot is really one very strong toe, protected by a hoof.
People put iron shoes on their horses to protect their feet from hard surfaces like roads and racetracks. Steady up! One more thing you should know about horses. They're not measured in inches or feet, centimeters or meters. They're measured in hands.
A hand is 4 inches, and horse owners measure a horse's height from the ground to the highest point of the withers, which is the ridge between the animal's shoulder bones.
Out there! Today, horses are no longer our main source of horsepower.
But we still measure the power of engines and motors in units called horsepower.
That's 550 foot-pounds per second.
Horses are still one of the most valuable and beloved animals on our planet. So Ashley and Jesse from Missouri and Kentucky.
Now you know about horses.
Don't you feel lucky?
Coming up next, we may be at the top of the food chain, but we're at the bottom of the barrel. Our most disgusting animal, right after this. Sit, stay, good human.
Beakman's World will be right back. And now, back to Beakman's World.
Kiss me. I'm Irish. It's time to nudge your neurons. Here he is, the Bronco Buster of the Brazen, the Bull Rider of the Bilious, the Fred Rerun Berry of the Thrust and Perry, the one, the only, the Beakman.
You took 'em? I'll book 'em. Let's hand jive.
If you lived here, you'd be home by now.
Question. Alicia, Nicholas, and Natalie Valdomar of Whittier, California. Right. Dear Beakman, I've heard that farmers feed cows magnets. Is that true?
E-I-E-I, oh, baby.
Oh.
Old MacDonald had a farm, and on this farm, he had a nervous breakdown. Magnets, that's rich.
Answer: some farmers do feed cows magnets because grazing cows often swallow sharp pieces of metal like nails and barbed wire. These things could seriously hurt a cow, but a magnet like this stays in the cow's first stomach.
Remember, a cow has 4.
Oh, lucky.
Oh.
And that magnet collects all the sharp stuff, so it doesn't move into the cow's digestive system.
Question. What animal or insect has the shortest lifespan as an adult?
Answer: after emerging from the water, an adult mayfly lives 1 day or less, and therefore has the shortest lifespan.
And Lester has the shortest attention span.
Huh?
Question. How much IGU does the average...
I's going to answer that question another time, because they creep.
They crawl.
They're ugly.
That's all.
It's time for those disgusting animals.
Lester, you're looking good.
Why, thank you.
And disgusting. Ooh. But today I have a special treat for you. We're gonna look at what may well be the most disgusting animal of all time.
Is it the dung beetle?
No.
The manure white?
No.
La cucaracha?
No! Those guys are minor league compared to today's disgusting animal. The human being! Or, as they're known to their close personal friends, people.
Oh, get a grip, Phoebe me up. People, with the possible exception of my agent, are not animals.
Lester? People are more animal than he thinks.
Duh.
We belong to the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Primate, family Hominidae, genus Homo, species Sapien. In our disgusting discussions of disgusting animals, have we ever discussed a disgusting animal so disgusting that it gives itself poison?
Phoebe, people do not give themselves poison.
Oh, Lester, don't be a schnook. Cigarettes contain tar and nicotine and dozens of other poisons. And if you drink too much alcohol, it's definitely toxic. Smoking and drinking kill 500,000 people every year in America alone.
Okay, Phoebe, maybe people are the only animals that poison themselves, but they're still not disgusting like, say, manure worms. I mean, hello, manure worms live in the waste products of other animals.
Oh, you're right. Humans don't live in the waste products of other animals. Humans are so disgusting they live in their own waste products. All over the world, the exhaust from our cars and our factories goes up into the air, leaving it a disgusting brown and gray color. When the rains come and clean that schmutz out of the sky, it gets washed into the rivers and lakes. Every time we abuse our bodies with poisons, or we don't recycle, or we waste natural resources or energy, we make our own planet a little more disgusting.
Shame on you. Shame, shame.
Good news, Justin! We may be disgusting animals, just like dung beetles, manure worms, cockroaches, and head lice. But unlike those unsavory fuckers, we're smart enough to decide if we want to be disgusting or not. We have a choice.
That's it. I'm taking the pledge. I will never be disgusting again. Starting tomorrow.
Coming up next, we'll take up a real cool topic, your refrigerator. So freeze!
Beakman's World will be right back. And now, back to Beakman's World.
I just stubbed my big toe and... man, am I swelling with curiosity. Oh. Inflame me with a question, Phoebe.
Throbbing! Here's one that ought to cool ya off. It's from Kendall Jordan in Reed Springs, Missouri, and Linnea Segan from Franklinville, New Jersey. They want to know how refrigerators work.
Ooh, cool questions, Kendall and Linnea.
It's ice to know people like you are watching.
Let's raise the fridge for a midnight science snack. Ooh. I'll take this leftover beakberry pie.
And some nice cold milk.
Okay, amateurs, spread out. Now, what can I nibble on? Ah, there it is, hiding behind the little jar of olives. This time, it's personal.
We use the old fridge 24 hours a day, but we almost never stop to think how it works.
There are little tubes inside the fridge, and then there's a pump, and it pumps cold air through the tubes, and it makes the air in the fridge cold, which makes the stuff inside the fridge cold.
Good answer, Phoebe. But that stuff you pump through, what makes it cold?
Oh, this time I know I'm right. It's cold because it's in the refrigerator.
The cold stuff that gets pumped through your refrigerator is called refrigerant. And to understand how we make refrigerant cold, we have to understand a simple scientific principle. Liquids absorb heat when they vaporize. Go! And vaporize means to turn from a liquid to a gas. Like when
We totally evaporate.
Right! Or when we boil water and it turns to steam.
Okay, I understand what a liquid is, and I understand what vaporize means, but what's the stuff about absorbing heat?
Always with the questions. This refrigerant is the same stuff that's pumped through your refrigerator. But
in case you were worried, it's not the same kind of refrigerant that can hurt the ozone layer.
Right. Now, you know, to boil water, you need to heat it to
212 degrees Fahrenheit, or 100 degrees Celsius.
Right. Now, Phoebe, since you know everything, how much will I have to heat this refrigerant to make it boil?
I'll handle this one. I have absolutely no idea whatsoever.
Here's the answer. The chemicals we use as refrigerants boil at room temperature. In fact, they even boil at around 30 degrees below zero. I've poured some of the refrigerant into this cylinder.
Wait a minute! If it's the same stuff, how come it's not boiling?
Oh, your question is fabulous, Fabby.
Phoebe.
Oh, the refrigerant isn't boiling because it's under a lot of pressure. That's heavy! Feel the cylinder and tell me if it's cold or hot.
It's the same temperature as everything else around here.
Now watch what happens when I remove the pressure. Hooray, remove the pressure. But a pimple, but a boil. Touch the cylinder, Phoebe Goyle.
Wow! It's ice cold, but it's boiling.
Beakman, I just had a nutty notion. Could this have anything to do with how a refrigerator works?
Lester, you are actually following this?
Following what?
This is exactly how a refrigerator works.
Paging Dr. Skull! Dr. Bogus Skull!
The refrigerant is pumped through this narrow opening where it evaporates into a very cold gas. That cold gas is pumped through the walls of the refrigerator where, get this, it absorbs the heat from inside the refrigerator.
Absorbs heat? It doesn't just add cold?
No, Lester. You can't add cold. Cold isn't a thing. Cold is the absence of heat.
So, if the refrigerant absorbs heat from inside the refrigerator, that makes the stuff inside the refrigerator colder.
You bet your cheese drawer.
But what happens to the refrigerant after it evaporates?
What happens is this. Once the refrigerant has absorbed the heat in the old icebox, the refrigerant is warmer. It then travels through the compressor, which is a kind of pump that squeezes or compresses the gas. From there, it travels through a set of pipes on the back of the fridge called a condenser, which takes the heat it's absorbed from the food and puts that heat out into the room. The refrigerant turns back into a liquid so it can start the whole shebang all over again.
Wait a minute. You're saying that you can make a gas into a liquid just by squeezing it together and cooling it?
Hey, I'm not just saying it, I'm proving it. So, Kendall and Linnea, tell everyone in your class.
The secret of refrigeration is a liquid and
A gas.
Can you cool down your house on a hot day by leaving your refrigerator open? Well, Beakman will be back with an answer, so chill.
Beakman's World will be right back. And now, back to Beakman's World.
So, Beakman, can you use a refrigerator to cool down your house?
No can cool, Phoebe. Remember Beakman's first law of science?
Everything goes somewhere.
A refrigerator works by taking the heat in the box and putting it out into your kitchen. If you leave the refrigerator door open, it's going to try to absorb the heat from your whole house. And where's the refrigerator going to put that heat? Right back into the house.
So, you won't cool down.
No. In fact, it'll heat you up.
And speaking of refrigerators, it's been a whole 5 minutes since I've raided one.
I could use a bite myself. Pow!
See ya next time.
On
Beakman's World.
Herb,
Yes, Don.
when you close the refrigerator door, does that little light go off in there?
I think the little light went off in your head.
Oh.
Now, turn off Beakman.
Okay. Let me ask you this. When the light goes off on TV, where does Beakman go? Oh, I know. To the refrigerator.